welcome to CNN's News of the Absurd. I'm Jarrett Bellini, and as you all know, this weekend, America will celebrate Independence Day. Happy birthday, United States of America. Here in Atlanta, we've got sort of a famous 4th of July tradition, a 10K run known as the Peachtree Road Race. And once again, I'll be wearing a number, and I hope to see some of our local viewers as I lay dying in a gutter somewhere near 10th Street. But there's one guy who won't be lying in that gutter, and it's because he's a pretty good runner. It's this guy.
I've driven this many times in the car in my 15-year commute to Atlanta, but running it is a different experience.
Normer Adams is what I like to call an overachiever. Namely because recently he thought it might be fun to jog 23 miles to work for National Running Day. I, on the other hand, drove 2 miles door to door with the AC on full blast, kvetching that it's so humid.
And I tell you what, it is an exhilarating experience. I wish I could do it every day, but the body won't take that.
The highlight of the day, however, came inside this crystal where shocked patrons witnessed what later they were told was called exercise.
Amazing.
Meanwhile, it wasn't just endorphins that had Normer truly enjoying his commute. It was seeing things he normally doesn't see from his car, like nature, up close, very close.
Out of the woods, I jumped out of a deer, and he started running right along beside me. And I thought of the phrase, run like a deer. No, I wasn't running like a deer, I was running with the deer.
Perhaps Normer found some wild mushrooms growing along the road.
Out of the woods, I jumped out of a deer, and he started running right along beside me.
Incredible.
Now, once the Peachtree Road Race ends here in Atlanta, just like everywhere else in America, the people turn to food. A traditional 4th of July barbecue. Steaks, burgers, hot dogs that fell on the back deck and were licked by the dog. You know, the usual. Nothing fancy like, say, worms? Which is exactly what one teacher in Louisiana recently had to eat right in front of her students.
16 worms. I got to take it. I made the deal, now I have to just accept the consequences.
The said deal of which she speaks was with her St. Bernard Parish 4th grade students, challenging them to pass their LEAP tests. It was sort of like Stand and Deliver, but without the sharp wit of Senor Jaime Escalante.
How do I reach these kids?
The deal was 1 worm if they pass, 3 worms for mastery, and 5 worms for an advanced. And we do have 1 student that scored an advanced. Woohoo!
So at the New Orleans Audubon Insectarium, commonly mistaken for my cubicle, they served up a feast of various bugs for Ms. Gross's dining pleasure.
The waxworms are actually small caterpillars that eat wax out of beehives, and the mealworms are grubs that turn into beetles.
Just think, one of those could have been Ringo.
Eat it, eat it,
Eat it, eat it, eat it. Dude, it's a bagel.
I know it's tasty. I think you'll like it.
Wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I'm glad they weren't the slimy, gushy kind. They were good.
Finally, a 4th of July barbecue just wouldn't be complete for many grown-ups without a few adult beverages. And while cold beer seems to be the summer staple, there's a new liquor out there that might just have a few people squealing. Why? Because it's bacon!
Bacon.
Well, my first reaction was, oh, but it's good.
Yes, bacon-flavored vodka, a new taste created by Seattle-based Black Rock Spirits because clearly we've run out of ideas.
There is a real fanatical following for bacon products and just bacon in general. People love bacon.
Of course, the obvious question is, how exactly do you drink bacon vodka? Enter the Bacon Vodka Bloody Mary, or perhaps the Chocolate Bacon Martini.
So this is like breakfast and dessert in a glass.
Exactly, and we haven't eaten breakfast yet, so it's perfect.
Now, we didn't have any bacon vodka to try out on our own, so we just got a couple strips, put it in a cup of water for about half an hour, and here it goes. Tastes like bacon. Well, that's all for this 4th of July edition of News of the Absurd. And before we go, it's assignment time, people. That's right, we want to see pictures of you with bacon. Be creative, be disgusting, be whatever, just make sure that there's bacon in it. And we'll maybe put some of the more tasteful ones up on our Facebook page. So have a good 4th of July. I'm Jarrett Bellini, and it's bacon! Well, that's all for this 4th of July edition of News of the Absurd. And before we go, it's assignment time, people. Oh, God. It tastes like bacon. Yeah, oh, it's all bacony.